One of the most if not the most anticipated sci-fi of the movie of the year, Project Hail Mary, has almost released, but of course the reviewers have gotten in early, and so today we're going to be going over what the movie is about and what the reviews are saying so far. So, we've got, to start up, we got the plot. This movie follows Ryland Grace, played by Ryan Gosling. Grace is a former scientist who works now as a middle school science teacher, but his life takes a massive turn when he wakes up alone on a spaceship millions of miles from Earth with no memory of who he is or why he's there. As the story unfolds, his memory slowly comes back and he begins to realize something terrifying. He's not just on a random mission, he's on a last chance mission to save humanity. Scientists on Earth have discovered that the sun is slowly losing energy. If it keeps happening, the entire planet could go into a catastrophic ice age within decades. Eventually, they discover the cause. A mysterious alien microorganism called astrophage is feeding on the sun's energy and spraying across space. And the Earth isn't the only star being affected. So the world launches a desperate mission called Project Hail Mary, sending a spacecraft to a nearby star system called Tayosite, where the star appears to be unaffected. But things go horribly wrong. By the time he wakes up from cyber sleep, he realizes his entire crew is dead, leaving him as the only survivor of the mission. So now he has to figure something out. What exactly is astrophage, and why one star system seems immune? And how to stop humanity from extinction, of course. All by himself. But here's where the movie takes a surprising turn. Grace discovers he's actually not alone out there. Another alien space species is also trying to solve the same problem, and he ends up forming an unlikely partnership with an alien named Rocky, who is trying to save his own civilization from the same cosmic threat. What follows is essentially a science-driven survival story mixed with a space buddy comedy as the two work together to solve the astrophage mystery. So the premise is basically a lone scientist, an alien ally, and a race against time to save the human race and the other alien species. Now, the big question is, did the movie actually pull it off? Let's talk about what the critics are saying. Early reactions to Project Hail Mary have been pretty strong overall. A lot of critics say the movie captures the same spirit that made The Martian so popular, mixing hard science with humor and human storytelling. One of the biggest things people are praising is Ryan Gosling's performance. Now, I will say Ryan Gosling is an amazing actor. I love a lot of his movies. I think he did an excellent job in The Gray Man. I'm really excited for his Star Wars movie coming out. Subscribe if you want to see more news relating to that when we start getting more stuff on that. Multiple reviews say that Gosling's charm and comedic timing carry the movie, especially since much of the story is centered around him alone on a spacecraft. And apparently he brings a slightly awkward, nerdy energy to the character that really works. Another big highlight critics mention is the relationship between Grace and Rocky. What could have easily been a weird sci-fi gimmick apparently becomes one of the emotional centers of the movie. Some reviewers even say the film turns into a surprisingly heartfelt friendship story between two characters from completely different worlds. Visually, the film is also getting praise. Critics say the space environment, ship design, and cinematography help create a big sense of scale and wonder throughout the movie. So, overall, the positives seem to be Ryan Gosling's performance, the friendship between Grace and Rocky, the mix of humor and science, the visual scale of the film. But the movie isn't perfect. Some reviewers say the tone can feel a little bit inconsistent. The directors are known for comedy, and at times the movie leans into humor so much that it almost feels like a lighter sci-fi adventure rather than a space drama. One reviewer even mentions that the film occasionally tells the audience exactly how they should feel instead of letting the story breathe. Another criticism is the ending. Because the movie stays pretty faithful to the book, some reviewers think that the final act drags on a bit with multiple emotional conclusions stacked on top of each other. But despite those issues, the general consensus seems pretty positive. Some early review aggregations even suggest over 90% positive reactions from critics, with strong scores on sites like Metric as well. So overall, the internet reaction seems to be, this might not be a perfect movie, but it's a fun, emotional, science-heavy space adventure that the fans of The Martian will probably enjoy. So, that's everything we know about Project Hail Mary so far. There's a couple of reviews, and general consensus seems like it's going to be a pretty fun time. I think that this could end up being a huge and blockbuster, maybe even movie of the year. So, what do you think is going to happen? Are you going to go see the movie? And are you excited for Ryan Gosling's performance in this? If you enjoy movie news and movie content like this, please subscribe and leave a like. I try to do this at least once a week, sometimes maybe once every 2 weeks, but I try to get to what I am. And I do a lot of other stuff on this channel, such as music reactions and Lego stuff. So again, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe. I really want to hit 200. But again, thank you so much for watching, and peace.